Alright, so on with the show. We've got the IL-28 on the go again. Particularly, I don't like flying this aircraft because personally I think that it may be slightly under-tiered as far as the current matchmaker goes. That I reckon should be at battle range 7 at least, probably higher considering. I mean, it's not got the top end speed of something like you know, a oh, it's Gemma. Okay. Yeah, it's not got the top end speed of something like a Venom maybe, or something of that battle range, but it certainly can, can defend itself against those kind of aircraft, which is a defining factor of being a bomber or a fighter bomber. And yeah, the IL-28 can do that. So I personally think that the battle rate is low for it. But that's my opinion. Gaijin doesn't tend to listen to individuals' opinions and tends to go with the masses, as do most people, or rather most companies, I suppose. Anyway, let's see what happens. The matchmaker is being a bit funny, is probably the best way to describe it. Quirky, Russian Gaijin, they all spring to mind when it actually comes to describing this. Now, again, you can't see. No, see, this is another annoying thing. I mean, it shows there. I can see how many battles there are just through the transparency, but there we go. Players 49,000, I think that was. Well, I think it's up from earlier at least, but I'm still unsure as to whether or not that's a global figure or if it's just for the local cluster. Would like to know. If anyone knows, then please inform me. Welcome to the channel, by the way, if it's your first time here. Or welcome back if you're back again. So yeah, we've got 4 IL-28s in this game. Now this time I have changed my bomb load so I can actually easily go for these bases, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit the first base with 3 bombs.
Oh my god.
And probably another base with another. And yeah, you see I have got this kind of big face on the back of my aircraft. That is me offering my respects to Gaijin for the way that they felch, or other. Yeah, I suppose felch is probably a good term. They hate that word because it involves homosexuals, and obviously they don't like that either. I'm not gay, by the way. I do like the poon, and boobies. But yeah, Gaijin, then they don't like it. If you type in the word gay on the forums, it won't actually print it, or won't put it onto the forums, because it's a taboo word on their forums, as I say. The interesting thing, of course, is that it's actually part of their company name, as in Gaijin, G-A-I. It's very similar. If you just type in G-A-I on their forums, I don't think that it will actually allow you to print that, or to publish that either, which is kind of amusing. But anyway, yeah, I've put this big. I put it on virtually all my Russian planes. Any new plane that I start flying for the Russians, I put a gypsy on the back to commemorate Gaijin ripping me off on several occasions. Let's just my own kind of way of saying thank you to them. That should do that base, I think. And let's just have a look. Yep. Now, see, I don't know what G's I'm putting there, but it blacked out. There was no G-force warning that came up. I have kind of noticed certain elements of that with other aircraft as well, but you want to really know kind of what G's you are pulling in the turns, because certain aircraft you pull a certain amount of G's and the wings will just snap. You know, it's the way that they're modelling it in game. But yeah, like I say, in that turn, that was like 500 mile an hour turn I just did there, and although it blacked out slightly, it didn't tell me what G-forces I was pulling, which means that I can't say if you know, the wings would have popped off or not. It's sloppy, I think is probably the best way to describe it, with regards to, you know, the way that they've implemented it. Okay, that should take care of the light tank. The Bearcat over there. Now I know they've got a B-57 somewhere. Oh, god damn it. Did he just kill both those tanks? No. But I think my bomb's going to overshoot. Yep, that's overshot. There they are. Okay. So, yeah. Now, that's another interesting point. I mean, just look at that. The last game, it was nothing but props on our team versus jets. Now, in this event, it's a case of we've got all the jets, or at least some of the jets, and they've got none, from what I can see. The matchmaker at the moment is just messed up. It's like it's got dementia or something, and I don't know, probably PMTs at the same time. It's something that they should have fixed a long time ago, and is still, well, not necessarily fixed, but at least modified, because current state of play with this matchmaker has been in the game for almost a year now, and it's still horrible, really bad. I mean, they have kind of changed some of the battle rates for the aircraft throughout the year, but they haven't done it logically, is probably the best way to describe it. And then they also put in new aircraft that have crazy battle rates in comparison to how effective they are, like the IL-28, for example. The IL-28 has a battle rate of 6.7, so that aircraft down there, if that is the second variant of, actually no, if it's the first variant of the Bearcat, which has a battle rate of 5.7, that can get into a game with this aircraft that I'm flying now, the IL-28. Now, I'm no, you know, as I've already stated, I'm no genius when it comes down to calculating things, but my estimates, that's unfair matchmaking. That's not how the game should be getting developed. They're not doing themselves any favours by doing this kind of thing, other than making it that it's an obvious pay to win game, because you can't, well, you can basically just convert experience and unlock all of the best aircraft with money. You don't need to play the game in order to do that. I mean, I'm one of the few people, I suppose, that has actually played through and grinded the majority of the aircraft. I have converted a bit of experience, but I mean, like, literally, in comparison to the amount of stuff that I've grinded out, it's about 1%. So I've not spent a lot of money doing what Guy Jim want me to do, and use money in order to progress. But yeah, that's beside the point. The way that the game is implemented, you kind of think that they would be wanting to work on the battle ring and getting the matchmaker to work well, so that people aren't going to be afraid of clicking the battle button or clicking it with trepidation. It's the way, you know, it is a very important part of the game. For them not to have fixed it yet is, yeah, it's in my opinion, it's slacking at the end of the day. It's not a case that they can't do it, it's a case that they haven't done it. And I'm just thinking that perhaps they should have maybe done it, especially considering the import that it has on the game. Now, as I say, this game, I mean, at the moment, this is a good example of how the matchmaker is failing on a regular basis. I mean, it's just as bad for me, really, because I'm in a jet. This aircraft doesn't have air brakes, so I'm not as manoeuvrable as other jets. And it's also a bomber, so you know it's not necessarily designed for what I'm going to be doing with it very shortly, which is engaging fighters. But yeah, I mean, the matchmaker, it needs work. It definitely needs work. It's not something that is going to go away overnight. Gaijin, they can't just hide from the fact that they need to do something with this, and until they do something with it, I can't see the player base expanding that much, because people aren't going to put up with this bullshit. It's as simple as that. You know, I've got the Tempest Mark II, the British Tempest Mark II. I don't tend to fly it very much because it gets into battles like this on a regular basis. And when I say regular basis, I mean 90% of the time, which is not fun, trust me. It leads to long drawn out frustrated games where you don't really stand a chance of catching the opponents. Your aircraft is just a lot more ineffective in comparison to theirs, and against a smart player you really won't stand that much chance because they have the better aircraft. It's as simple as that. You might be able to pull off certain tricks. I've done that a few times, but generally speaking, you'll be outmatched. And if you're against people that are in a squad as well, it doesn't matter how good you are, they will take you down. And yeah, you know, I was saying how this is unfair matchmaking for them. Our team has been getting annihilated from what I can tell. There's 3 of us left, and they've lost 5 on their team. My guess is possibly, yeah, they look like they've got squad players, which will make a little bit of a difference when it comes down to engagements. And there goes an LA9, I think that was. He's been critted at least, I'm not sure if he's down yet. But yeah, I'm not going to try and drag this game out. I could do quite easily. I could just sit up at this altitude and wait for the win, because that would happen. We've got more tickets, and the way this map, or this actual battle goes, is that our ground forces will win. They've got the better tanks. They'll just roll over the light tanks and win the game. But I'm not going to wait for that, because of 2 reasons. 1, it's boring as fuck, and 2, it doesn't get me as much a reward as if I get in there and try and get kills. If I get in there and get some kills now, I mean, if I was able to shoot down the enemy team quite easily, which I might be able to if I'm lucky, I would get a much greater reward. But yeah, as I say, this is kind of a controversial aircraft, at least from the community's perspective anyway. From Gaijin's perspective, I'm sure they think it's a reasonable aircraft. With regards to the battle rating, I honestly don't know whether they think that's okay or not. They probably do, because it's in game at that battle rating at the moment, so, you know, they must be thinking they're doing something right. Get that to reload, because there we go. Alright, I've not actually fired the forward cannon yet, because this aircraft isn't very manoeuvrable, as you might have seen. And I'm fighting against prop planes, so I have to try and anticipate their moves without them being aware of me coming in, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, the advantage obviously is that I've got a jet aircraft, so I can go faster. But they do have Bearcats, and they are UFOs, so I have to be fairly careful with dealing with them. This isn't fully upgraded, by the way, my aircraft. I do have a few more modules left to unlock on it. But it is an effective aircraft. I have to say, in the few games that I've had with it, or in the few games rather, I've noticed cannon, the rear tail, have an extremely long range. You can actually hit people that are chasing you at more than 2 kilometers away, which in a turret, you know, that's damn effective. And also bearing in mind these are cannon, 23mm cannon that I think they're the same ones that, you know, on the infamous IL-2, or at least the same caliber anyway. Whether or not they've got a different shot velocity, I'm not sure, but 23mm cannon, yeah. And Russian as well, they do quite a bit of damage. I think the best game I've had with this, I took out 4 enemy aircraft before I eventually got taken down by 2 fighters. I think it was one of them down as well. And what I need to do here is try and sneak up on him, or at least not go very quickly. So what I'm going to do, do speed in that and gain altitude, the throttle, and see where he goes. Okay, he's pretty much directly below me at the moment. He crashed. Oh my word. As I say, I'm not going to try and drag this out. I am just looking to get into fight, or into a fight with them. But I'm not stupid. I will try and pick the fight and use my plane strengths to my advantage. I'm guessing this guy must be out of ammunition, because he looks as though he's heading back towards his base. He might not be out of ammo, he might be just going back for fuel. That really has been up for quite some time. Get some of that. But yeah, even though I was shooting at him at 2 kilometers there, that was in range. You've got to trust me on this, because I can't show you if easily from this particular game, but I've flown this quite a few times, and I've also checked out a few of my replays of me flying it and of me engaging it. And yeah, you can hit people out past 2 kilometers with this, and it will take them out. I've hit people myself at least 1.6 kilometers away and set them on fire. And yeah, having that kind of capability or standoff capability basically means you can play this aircraft in ways that enemy aircraft just can't deal with. Again, coming on this guy. Cut the throttle quite a bit before. Oh, actually, it looks like they might have someone in the airfield. Or that was just a blip, maybe. Yep, there is someone there. Okay, right, I'm going for him. And there's AA on me, that's not good. Oh, that's close. But I did knacker his elevator. Whether or not he goes down for that, I'm not sure. There we go, he's down. Still got 122 rounds left, so that other guy's just landed. I'm going to go for him. I think he has, so I'm going to take a risk, make a turn and make another approach. And he's bailed out. Right, now need to be careful now. There's another bogey right behind me, I think, from what I can tell. I got hits, but yeah, there he goes.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours. Allied forces have captured the zone.
So that's going to be me down. Yeah, there we go. Well, I got 2 of them, I think. Well, possibly 2. I'm not sure if that last one went down. But as you can see, it's not a case of me making the mistake. Well, I mean, I don't think I did make many mistakes in that particular game. My team, on the other hand, I'm not so sure of. We did have the advantage as far as jet aircraft went, and yeah, they didn't do so well. If you have a look, these guys, I mean, that guy was in the IL-28 that went down towards the end there. He didn't get any kills. That's kind of surprising, to be honest, but you know, I don't know what kind of situation. He might have just lagged out and crashed. This guy I'm not so sure of. Ground target's 40 again. That's probably an IL-28 player, and same thing for this guy down here as well. Which leaves the other ones were probably in fights. I know there's a couple of LA9s and Yak-15s. Well, Yak-15s, they're awful. I just wouldn't touch with them with the barge pole. But the LA9, yeah, they're very capable aircraft. And for them not to be able to do anything is, I'm not sure if that's a case of inexperience on their part, or if it's a case that they've been nerfed and the Bearcats are just completely OP. Again, I don't think I've checked the Bearcat since 1.45. I will just save that replay so I can check something out in it later. I just might want to check out the LA9